This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Coach, just taking a look at UNC-Ashville, it looks like number 4, Drew Pember's numbers just kind of jump off the page on both ends of the floor. Just curious what you've made of his season so far and the challenges he'll pose on Wednesday.
Yeah, Pember's especially offensively, just having an absolutely phenomenal year, averaging a double-double. He presents a lot of problems. Obviously, the 17 made threes at 41%, an excellent free throw shooter at 85 plus, and then 89 free throws attempted. He's blocked a lot of shots. 30 blocks is a lot. High steal rate, can really run the floor. Done a good job as an assist player as well at the center spot. It's not often you see somebody second on a team or third on a team in assists with 23. So, a player that is definitely a guy that can score the ball in multiple ways.
And then just with their team as a whole, how do you feel like they might test you a little bit differently than some of the recent games you played? It looks like they might want to play faster than some of the recent competition.
Yeah, they do like to play fast. And when you look at some of their scores, 98, against Central Florida, that's a really good team and a program we really respect. 94 in the second game of the year. And then of late, 90, 122, and 94. So this is a team that likes to score the basketball. They like to get out and run, and we got to have great transition defense and obviously we like to run as well. So, transition defense will be a big, a big part of this game, as I think they average 83 a game.
And then last thing for me, you guys got Jalen Graham 10 to 12 minutes the other night. I know Mikal got a look there early in the first half. Obviously, you've got a strong core of guys who are playing really well for you, but I'm just curious, do you feel like there's still maybe a role to be had there in the front court, especially as you get ready for the size of the SEC?
Yeah, I think, every game takes on its own identity and like how the guys have played. And it's just about when you get an opportunity going in there and playing well, and we feel like we have good depth. But certain guys are playing really well too and holding their minutes. And I think as you kind of looking at a player that's really stepped up of late since Trevin Brazil's injury, it's Jordan Walsh. He's eaten up. I think everybody just kind of assumed that another big would kind of eat up some of the minutes and the role that Trevin Brazil had, and Jordan Walsh has been the one that stepped up and taken those minutes and helped us from a scoring aspect and a defensive standpoint. So, Jordan's kind of been that guy right now, Curtis, that's stepped up amongst the group, since TB has been out with the season-ending injury.
Thanks, Coach.
Bob?
Hey, Eric, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Hey, I know we've talked a lot about Devo's defense of late, but I want to maybe ask you about that again, to get a little more detail. He's a pretty good defense player when he was a freshman. But what level is he taking his defense to another level, or just how important has his defense been of late, do you think?
Yeah, I think defensively, Bob, he's one of the best defenders in the country. He understands game plans. He understands spacing defensively. He knows when to gamble, when not to gamble. I think defensively he's as good as any player that we've had here. Guys are different. Jimmy Witt was a great defender as really being solid, and Devo's a great solid defender, and he mixes in that ability to kind of create steals. And again, I think Jimmy Witt was as good at college defenders I've been around. Jalen Tate was incredible, both guards, and Devo's he's just different. He knows when to gamble, he knows when not to gamble, and he puts just absolutely immense pressure on the basketball. And you know, he's a player that his defensive tenacity kind of fuels our transition offense a lot of times.
Yeah. Do you think the other guys obviously have the skill set, but do you think Devo, an older guy playing defense like that, do the other guys feed off that, and then maybe the crowd feeds off it, and then you guys feed off the crowd? It's just kind of a, you know, contagious with everybody.
Yeah, I think anytime you have a guy, especially out on the ball, that puts the kind of heat and pressure and turns the ball handler, I think everybody, you know, feeds off of that for sure.
And then getting back to Pember for a minute, did you see the video of him hitting that three to beat, I guess, was East Tennessee State? I wonder what you thought of that play. And I guess he was at University of Tennessee. He played for the Vols, but he wasn't playing much. And he transfers, and he's turned into a star player there. You know, defensive player of the year last year, and he's leading them in scoring. So he really does it all. Just wonder what you thought of that shot, if you watched video of it yet, and just what do you think about, you know, here's a guy that was kind of, wasn't getting in for Tennessee, and now he's gone someplace new and is doing real well for himself.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the, you know, everyone talks, you know, about the portal, and sometimes people don't see the positives, but I think that's a cool story that, you know, that Drew is having the year that he's having, and had a great year last year. And, you know, the shot he took, you know, he's a player that you just can't give airspace to, and you got to crowd him, and he's got a pretty good first step off the bounce. So that's why he's a tough cover. But that was a shot that, under pressure, under duress, game-winning shot. I mean, that's why he's one of the top guys in his league, if not the top player in their league.
And then I think I read this right in their notes that Jones is their all-time leading three-point career guy, and they're shooting about 40%. How good are they? How dangerous are they as a three-point shooting team? And Jones in particular.
They're a great three-point shooting team. They really are. They shoot deep shots. They shoot quick shots in transition. They shoot shots with confidence. You know, and Jones is a player that you've got to locate, find. You know, he's got 62 made field goals, and 37 of them are three balls. So it's important to try to locate him as quick as possible, and you know, not allow number three to get catch and shoot rhythm threes.
Okay, I got a couple more, but I'll turn back to Mike if time allows. Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, Bob.
Bob, no one else is lit up, but so go ahead and ask another question. But if you do have a question for Coach, either raise your hand or turn your video on. So, Bob, go ahead.
Okay, well, this is Eric's lucky day. I know how much he loves answering my questions. That's true. I do appreciate it. This is the last game before Christmas break. You got a lot of young guys, and even the older guys, a lot of them are pretty far from home, you know, DC or Arizona or whatever. Just, is there any concern, or kind of how do you approach that? You want to make sure the guys are focused. You just come off two great neutral site wins, I guess, even though North Little Rock's a home game. But how are you approaching that, you know, with Christmas almost being here with the guys?
Yeah, only talking about UNC Asheville. That's, you know, I'm not going to talk about anything other than, you know, with our team, anything other than how do we beat Asheville. That's really the one and only concern, you know, that we have right now as a group and as a team. And, you know, we've had what I would consider a really good non-conference, and we have one other game before we get into SEC play. And then amongst that will be the Baylor non-con game as well. But, you know, we've got to be extremely focused, you know, because during finals and you know, during holidays, you know, you just don't want any, you know, you don't want to be distracted.
And it's been a while since you guys played in Bud Walton. I mean, how good is it to be back? And obviously it's great to play well away from home. How have you felt about that? How you guys responded? I mean, you played well in Maui, you played well in Tulsa, played well in North Little Rock. But how do you feel about that? And then how do you feel about getting back to your home court on campus?
Yeah, no, our guys have done a great job of playing really well away from Bud Walton. Obviously, you know, everyone likes playing in Bud Walton, and we hope to have a great crowd another week where we're ranked in the top 10. And, obviously without the students being on campus because of the break, we need everybody else to bring a little bit more energy and enthusiasm without the students, but an opportunity for our fans to watch us play. And like you mentioned, Bob, we haven't played at home in a long time, and then we have a little break, and then we go on a road game to LSU. So certainly hope that that we have a high energy crowd on Wednesday.
Mike Morrell, their coach, of course, he was at Texas with Shock. I just wondering if you know him at all, or what you know about him, or your thoughts on facing him.
Yeah, I know he does a great job. I like the style of play that they play. Don't know him personally. I have not really, run into him recruiting or any of those, but have tremendous, after watching his team on tape, have tremendous respect for the job that he does, and they have a style and identity that makes them unique to try to prepare for. So really like what he's done with this team, and like the freedom that he gives them, and like how he's created a system that players probably really enjoy playing in.
And I know you probably haven't had practice since the game, but how's Nick doing? Still everything?
Yeah, we literally, I was meeting with the staff, and we practiced in 15 minutes and 48 seconds. And once I get down there and around the team, obviously we're starting our prep today on the court. So don't have any updates other than the fact that we're going to go down there and get ready for UNCA.
Okay. Anything else you want to say about anything?
Ty, you got a question?
Oh.
Yeah, I'll ask something. Coach, your old mentor, Chuck Daly, used to battle the old 80s Showtime's Lakers. And I know, I think it was during the broadcast where Chuck said Showtime on the broadcast. Do you see any similarities with the way how your team plays to that 80s franchise team, Los Angeles Lakers?
I like the fact that we have, multiple players that can bring the ball up the floor. We don't rely on just one guy. I like the versatility, and I don't really like to compare teams or players to anybody, but obviously that team had a really tall point guard in Magic Johnson, and Anthony Black has great size. And again, just because I was growing up in San Diego and always been a Laker fan, Worthy at the 4 spot was really kind of a small forward, and Jordan Walsh is a guy that I guess if you wanted to play that compare game, Jordan can make perimeter shots like Worthy did, and he can also beat people off the bounce and crash the offensive glass. And so I think there's again, I don't like to compare, but we are playing with good offensive freedom. And I don't have the old Lakers roster in front of me, but those two comparisons, off the top of my head, I'm not going to really compare Michael Thompson with Makai right now, because I don't see their games being that similar. But yeah, we like to play in transition. We like to
That's fair.
play with some flair.
All right, Coach.
I kind of on that subject.
Go ahead, Ty. Go ahead.
All right, last thing. Coach, kind of on that subject. I think I just completely lost my train of thought.
That's all right. I do it every time out.
Don't worry about it. I had something to go off that, and I can't think of what it was.
Football is back, and BetOnline remains your #1 source for all your football betting needs this season. You'll find the latest odds, matchup info, player news, and game trends. And as your continued source for all sports wagering info, BetOnline features live betting, free contests, live scores, and giveaways all season long. Always the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports and events like MLB, MMA, tennis, boxing, and even golf. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive your 100% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. That's BLEAV. Bet online, where the game starts.